Did you know that in 1947, a single mysterious crash in the desert of Roswell, New Mexico, changed the way the entire world looked at aliens and UFOs? What really fell from the sky that night? A secret military balloon, or proof that we are not alone in the universe? Today, we uncover the chilling truth. In the summer of 1947, the quiet desert town of Roswell, New Mexico, became the epicenter of the greatest mystery in modern history. A storm had rolled over the endless desert plains, and in the silence that followed, something fell from the skies. A rancher named William Mack Brazel discovered strange scattered debris on his land, metal pieces unlike anything he had ever seen before. The wreckage was light but impossibly strong, with symbols and markings that no one could explain. This discovery was about to ignite one of the most controversial and fascinating stories of the 20th century, the Roswell UFO Incident. At first, the United States military seemed to confirm the incredible. On July 8, 1947, the Roswell Army Airfield issued a press release that stunned the nation. They had recovered the wreckage of a flying disc. Newspapers across America carried the story. For the first time, the government itself seemed to be admitting that alien spacecraft might have crashed on Earth. But within just 24 hours, the story changed. The military quickly retracted their statement, claiming that what had been recovered was nothing more than a weather balloon. The debris was shown to the press, carefully staged for photographs, sticks, tinfoil, and rubber. The flying disc was gone, replaced with an explanation that seemed too convenient. Yet questions remained. Eyewitnesses reported that the wreckage did not look like any weather balloon they had ever seen. Rancher Mack Brazel described pieces of material that could not be bent, burned, or broken. Others spoke of strange foil-like sheets that returned to their original shape no matter how much you crumpled them. Local mortician Glenn Dennis claimed he received unusual calls from the Roswell Army base that week, asking about small, child-sized coffins and preservation techniques for bodies exposed to the elements. Whispers began to spread. Had the military not only recovered a strange craft, but also non-human bodies inside it? The Roswell mystery deepened as decades passed. Witnesses came forward with stories of secrecy, intimidation, and cover-ups. Major Jesse Marcel, an intelligence officer who had first examined the debris, publicly stated years later that what he saw in 1947 was not of this earth. He described materials that seemed like metal but were as thin as paper, pieces with symbols resembling hieroglyphics, and beams that were unnaturally light. Marcel was convinced the weather balloon story was a lie designed to mislead the public. But why would the government cover up such a discovery? To understand that, we need to step into the mindset of 1947 America. The Second World War had just ended. The Cold War was beginning. The United States was racing against the Soviet Union in both technology and intelligence. Anything unknown that fell from the sky could have been a potential weapon or a terrifying advantage in the hands of the enemy. Admitting that an alien craft had crashed in New Mexico might have caused global panic, and it would have revealed that America was not in control of its own skies. For military leaders, secrecy was the only option. The Roswell story might have faded into history, but it refused to die. In the 1970s, UFO researchers began interviewing witnesses, gathering testimony that reignited the controversy. Dozens of people claimed to have seen wreckage, alien bodies, or suspicious military activity. Some spoke of trucks moving covered crates under the cover of night. Others described soldiers warning locals to keep silent or face serious consequences. These accounts suggested a massive cover-up, one that had lasted for decades. Then came the infamous Roswell autopsy footage in the 1990s. Released by a British filmmaker, The black and white film appeared to show military doctors dissecting a small, grey alien body with large eyes and thin limbs. The footage caused a global sensation. While many experts later declared it a hoax, others believed it was based on a real event. Even if the film itself was staged, the story behind it refused to go away. Roswell had become more than an incident. It had become a symbol of secrecy, denial, and the possibility that humanity is not alone. But let's ask the big question: what really happened in Roswell? There are three main theories. First, the official explanation that it was a weather balloon, specifically part of Project Mogul, a top-secret program designed to detect Soviet nuclear tests using high-altitude balloons. Project Mogul balloons did use unusual materials, including radar reflectors that could have appeared strange to civilians. Supporters of this theory argue that secrecy around the project explains the confusion. Second, the UFO theory, that a spacecraft of non-human origin really did crash in New Mexico. Proponents point to the eyewitness accounts, the initial flying disc press release, and the decades of cover-up as evidence that the government is hiding the truth. According to this theory, alien technology and possibly alien bodies were recovered and taken to secure facilities such as Wright-Patterson Air Force Base or the mysterious Area 51 in Nevada. The third theory is a blend, that something unusual did crash, but it may not have been extraterrestrial. Some believe it could have been an experimental military aircraft, possibly even captured German or Soviet technology. The secrecy then was not about aliens, but about hiding advanced weapons research during the tense years of the Cold War. Whichever theory you believe, one fact is undeniable: Roswell changed everything. Before 1947, UFOs were rare in popular culture. After Roswell, sightings exploded worldwide. The idea of flying saucers entered the public imagination, and governments began taking the phenomenon more seriously. Even today, when UFOs, now called UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena, are discussed by military officials and Congress, the shadow of Roswell looms in the background. The Roswell incident represents something deeper than a mystery. It reflects our fears, our hopes, and our place in the universe. If it was truly a weather balloon, then Roswell shows how secrecy and miscommunication can create legends. If it was a UFO, then it means we are not alone, and that our governments may be hiding the greatest discovery in human history. And so, more than 75 years later, the desert sands of Roswell still guard their secret. Witnesses have passed away. Records have vanished. But the fascination remains. Roswell has become the heartbeat of UFO culture, the place where science fiction and reality blur. Tourists flock to the town, museums and festivals celebrate the mystery, and the question still hangs in the air. What really fell from the sky in Roswell, New Mexico? Perhaps someday the truth will be revealed. Until then, the Roswell UFO incident remains the greatest unsolved mystery of the modern age, a story of secrecy, speculation, and the eternal human question: are we alone? Please like, share, and subscribe. This is Quest Revealers.